Welcome to Dare, the show for innovators, entrepreneurs, and startup leaders who dare to shape the future. Your hosts today are Ned Hayes and Cecilia Mariani. Dare is brought to you by Darwaf, the superpower tech team that can make your vision a reality. The Dare podcast is excited to welcome Nikita Byakadarov to the show. His company, Maildoso, has been very successful in cold email and in infrastructure for marketing. And we'd like to hear how he came to this point of success and also what he's doing next with the company. So welcome to the show.
Hey, Nat. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for inviting.
Great. Well, one thing that you and I talked about before we started recording was the fact that you've had other companies that have not been as successful. And I think it's super important to be able to say, I founded something, I worked on something, it didn't work, so I tried again, because you've tried this multiple times. So I guess before we get to your current success with your company, I'm curious if you could tell us what lessons you learned from being an unsuccessful entrepreneur before you became a successful one.
Oh, there are many. There's so many of them. I guess that if you just, keep trying, eventually you will brute force and then just keep trying, learn. This is the main one. And then there are so many smaller ones that I learned along the way. But
so being able to continue to confront things that aren't working and try something different. So that's one of the learnings that you've had, just resilience to keep going, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Just keep going.
So were all of your businesses you tried within the same marketing domain, or were they in other domains?
That's a good question. I would say most of them are in the marketing space just because it's my area of interest. And also I worked in marketing space for a long time. So yeah, naturally, all ideas that come to me are all in marketing. Like my previous company was like a marketplace for SEO professionals. And then one of the previous companies was anomaly detection software. So they kind for marketers. So they kind of all in the marketing space.
Fantastic. So tell us about Maildoso. Like my understanding, just to set the stage a little bit, is that you've been massively successful with this new company in the first year. And you now have 3,000 paying customers and you haven't taken outside funding. So this is entirely bootstrapped, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. So tell us how you did it.
So it started with our own, pain. So we Maildoso is a pivot. Like my previous company, backlinkswappers.com, as I mentioned, it was a marketplace for SEO professionals. And because we couldn't run ads, because we need to be very cherry picking in terms of who we work with. So we were using only cold email to acquire customers. And this way we acquired over 600 of them. And then I believe at maximum we were sending 10,000 cold emails per day. We were sending to relevant websites if we had enough of similar websites on our marketplace. Mm-hmm. We quickly realized that infrastructure, so domains, mailboxes, is our biggest constraint. So we start automating things like how we buy domains, how we set them up, how we spin up IP addresses and stuff. And then after 6 months, it turns out our cold email tech stack is way more, complex than our product. And we were investing more into our infrastructure than into product because product is fairly simple. There is a lot of open source tools that we incorporated. And then after some time, I was sharing with a few of my friends a story. I was sharing how we do cold email, and I've noticed this reaction from them. They all told me that, hey, can you teach me how to do the same? I also do cold email, but not at this scale, and I want to learn how to do this. And I thought...
Wait, just to back up a second for our audience to explain cold email, could you explain what cold email is versus other marketing techniques?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. So the cold email is when you essentially send emails to people who don't know you and you offer your product or services to them. And it's quite popular in the B2B space. In B2C space, there is 8 different regulations. That's why people rarely do cold email there. but in B2B space, pretty much all B2B companies do cold email, meaning like their salespeople reach out to their customers.
Right,
This is
right.
what,
So if you get an email in your inbox and it's somebody that you haven't corresponded with previously, asking you if you could use their service or if it might be relevant to your business, that's probably a cold email, right?
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
And so the difference between that and other marketing techniques is that it's active. It ends up in your email inbox. It's not like a billboard. It's not like an advertisement on a website. It's actually reaching out to you proactively. And
Yeah.
so, some people consider cold email spam because it's not requested, but it's all about if it actually matches with what the person is interested in and what's relevant to their actual business problems. And if it's done in a really spammy, scammy way, it can be really intrusive. But if it's done in a helpful way and a way that allows the user to control what they're going to get, then it can actually lead to great business possibilities for both people. So you clearly have done something useful. So what are you doing that's so useful that actually makes people appreciate the product and land you customers?
Yeah. Well, basically, it's right now, it's like, so when we launched our MVP and we saw, a lot of people signing up, a lot of people asking for something similar, it turns out that it is just like painful for people to set up right infrastructure to send cold emails. And if you make mistake, it just doesn't work. And then some people, I've talked to companies that have, you won't believe it, they have like 5 full-time employees only setting up mailboxes, domains, and stuff to kind of to allow. And it's only needed for like their sales team to be able to send cold emails to their potential customers because they do this on a larger scale. That's insane. And a lot of people just sick and tired of this manual process. But then also with the fact that you send email and you don't know what's going on with this email, whether it's land in spam or in inbox, and then, you send cold emails. And then all of it, like suddenly Monday morning, you wake up and you, instead of, I don't know, 5 or 10 replies, you receive 0 and you don't know what's going on. And this is where Maildoso helps our customers. We extremely transparent on like what's going on with your emails. We show them exactly where they're landing so that they can adjust their strategy. And also like besides the automated setup stuff. So yeah, and based on the feedback from the market, as soon as we start showing like where your emails are landing, people start visiting our members area way more often,
Right, because
and
you
they
can actually show them, I assume in near real time, what's actually happening to an email. Did somebody delete it? Did somebody
yeah
read it? Did somebody take action on it? Did someone even forward it internally? Like, hey, these guys might be useful to us. So getting that kind of visibility is super helpful to customers. And prior to you being on the scene, though, what did people do? Like, did they just send it out and into a black hole and hope that something resulted?
exactly. Mhm. And then most of the people they were setting up multiple Gmail mailboxes, and then Gmail doesn't allow, they explicitly forbidden that type of use case in their policies. So Gmail start to block their mailboxes, ask for additional verifications and stuff. So it was a nightmare.
Right. So who do you compete against?
So primarily our customers switching to us after using either Gmail or Office 365 to send emails. So yeah,
Got it. So basically, they're using standard mail clients, and you're creating an environment where they can reach out to multiple customers and not get blocked and actually have their messages resonate, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So I asked you earlier, what lessons have you learned from past failures? I'm curious, what have you learned from your current success? Like, what has really come out of this success for you? What's crystallized in your mind?
I believe one of the biggest learnings
Mm-hmm.
is that, managing stress is one of the key skills of a founder because we were so many times in the situation where we can't keep up with demand. We don't have enough people,
Mm-hmm.
servers overloaded, or they suddenly shut down and we don't have people who know what's going on. And then, the managing cold email infrastructure it is extremely stressful. And one of the things that I had to learn is to how to, manage this stress, how to work with it when you take risk, and how to take risk when it might be stressful over time. So these are the biggest things that I had to learn after we saw, okay, so this is going to be a successful thing. So we need to double down into on Maildoso, and then, stress probably one of the biggest things that I had to learn how to work
Yeah.
with.
Right. And one other thing that I see is that you've really achieved product market fit. You've found something that people really need. You've hit a real pain point. Was that by accident or were you really zeroing in on that?
Just because we solved the similar problem for us
Mhm.
internally, it was an internal tool. And then based on, feedback from my friends, I realized that something similar might be helpful to other people. And then after a small test, we saw, okay, yeah, this is something that a lot of people are struggling with. So our product might be helpful here. I don't know, like how much of it is accidentally happened,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
yeah. But to build cold email infrastructure, it took us quite some time, and it's very challenging. So it's a little bit of both, I would say.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I find interesting is I don't know if you've ever heard the podcast How I Built This by Guy Raz, but
Mm.
what's fascinating about that show is his closing question is always, so do you credit your success to all your hard work or to luck? And more oftentimes than I can count, even the most successful teams say, well, we were in the right place at the right time. It was a lot of luck that made it happen. Like everybody works hard. It's not necessarily just hard work that makes it happen. It's luck, you know?
A lot of
And so
luck.
it sounds
Yeah.
like you hit the right point in terms of luck, but you've also done a lot of hard work and along with your team. So tell me about your team. Like, what kind of team have you built? You must be proud of them. You must be happy with their success.
Yeah, that's true. I work with extremely talented and motivated people. Probably I'm very lucky here. And there was like a lot of luck, along this journey, especially with finding right people.
Hmm.
Sometimes some of the most pivotal decisions in our history were in the history of the company were made by or with these very talented people. So currently we are a team of 25,
Uh huh.
but by the time we started Maildoso, we were a team of 6 because we were working on backlink swappers. We had to pivot the company. And then at the beginning, well, of course, we had to wear many hats. And then we only right now, I think, at the point where we have pretty much all expertise that we need in order to keep building the product where we want to be.
Mm-hmm.
From my perspective, we just started because like finally we have pretty much all team members that we need for to accomplish what we want to accomplish.
Yeah, well, speaking of accomplishments, I mean, you made the first 500,000 in annual recurring revenue with just this cold emailing product. So have you added more product to the mix or are you kind of doubling down on the original product?
We're going to double down on the original product and keep making it better for our customers. Our goal is to become number one in the cold email space and help our customers get more replies than they could have gotten with any other tool. And there is like a very long journey to help every single segment of our customers to get great results, even if they not know very well how to do cold email. So we're probably going to stick to this product for a very long time. And then I also look at the problems that are in the traditional email marketing space where it is considered to be standard or like a benchmark to have 20-25% open rate.
Mhm.
But when our customers were doing cold email, their open rates is like 60%, 70%, 80%. And so their performance way better than performance of campaigns that were sent to people who explicitly subscribe to a newsletter. So, and there is a lot of challenges that I see. We can bring our cold email expertise into traditional email marketing space to make it more efficient. So this
Mhm.
is the next challenge that we're looking at, but it's probably going to be like not right now. So we
Yeah.
have too much stuff to do here.
Yeah, you have enough on your plate right now. Yeah. So if I am a business who wants to reach out to other businesses, how do I make cold email my customer acquisition channel? Like if I'm trying all these different things, how do I do cold email? If you can give me a few hints, that would be helpful.
Yeah, sure. Well, the cold email can be number one customer acquisition channel for B2B company. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it require, so like the cold email is so if a company want to become really successful in cold email, they need to kind of adopt their product offering to this channel. It's just because you reach out to people that most likely don't know you and they don't trust you. And it is common right now, and it works very good when you provide something very valuable upfront to your customers without asking for any commitment from their side. And then you start building relationships with them, and then they become your paying customers. So this strategy works exceptionally well. Well, we send millions of cold emails every day. We analyze every successful campaign. And this strategy works amazingly well. And then, but it requires, like, some of the companies would need to rethink of their business model or their product offering if they want to become successful with cold email. Because the one thing that I hear the most from lead gen agencies, from people that run cold email for themselves, and also, in fact, from ad agencies, is that the offer is the single most important thing of your cold email or of your ad. It doesn't matter what the color of, a button you have there, or it's not really that important what call to action you use. The offer, what you're offering, to your customers in a nutshell. I would recommend to read a book written by Alex Hormozy, $100 million offer. This is a very interesting book for those who want to make their offer compelling.
Yeah. If you could send me that book title, I'll link to the book in the show notes. Sounds great.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is extremely helpful. When we launching a new campaign to a new audience, we usually test multiple different offers. So the last time we start with like 10 offers, and the email is pretty much the same, but the difference is in what we offer. And then the winning one was performing 5 times better than all other offers, and we didn't change much. It's just like the way how we phrase what we offer or like benefits that our customers get.
Right. The details really make a difference here, don't they?
Yeah. And then I would recommend to, so I don't know why it's just happened, like there is no one single course on how to do cold email. Of course you can find some courses, but I cannot say they're going to be great. There is not that many information. If you Google information about cold email, 90% is going to be not accurate. I did it myself and I'm surprised. Yeah, most of the information is written by ChatGPT that, that's just a copy of some of the outdated articles or something. The most up-to-date information these days, unfortunately, live in communities. So what I would recommend, if somebody wants to kind of start doing cold email and make it number one customer acquisition channel, is to find a community of cold emailers and just learn from them, ask them. And then, over time, you will learn how to do this. There is a few very cool communities that I usually recommend to agencies. So to any person who wants to start a lead gen agency and provide, leads to and help other businesses to get leads through cold email. And then for businesses, surprisingly, there is a lot of cold email experts on LinkedIn these days. It's not that hard to find them. Of course, you can follow me on LinkedIn. I post a lot of information on the most latest information on cold email deliverability, how to make sure you land an inbox. This is one of the biggest challenge that people run into. And it's not really a challenge for us. We know exactly how to land an inbox all the time. So I would recommend to start with $100 million offer book by Alex Hormozy, and then find communities of cold emailers and learn from them.
Fantastic. Well, this is great advice. So, for all those B2B companies out there who want to be reaching customers directly in their email inboxes, sounds like you have some tips and some options for companies who want to do that. So, really appreciate it. And thank you for sharing your story of success and how you got to this point in your successful startup. Great to chat with you today.
Likewise, Ned.
And I guess since this is I think this will be our last show of the year. Happy holidays, everybody, and Happy New Year. And take care. Thanks to our guests today for their great insights on Dare, the podcast for innovators, entrepreneurs, and startup leaders. If you'd like your story to be featured on Dare, just contact us at info@darwaft.com. Dare is brought to you by Darwaft, the tech team that can make your vision a reality.